Kreative TV.
It's your boy Jazz. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? We are at another reaction segment, but this is a little bit different. It's basically just talking about collaborating on why the 50-50 relationship does not work. So, in this topic, basically, they say some people have an idea that the relationship with the 50-50 alternative works, and some people feel that it doesn't. Pick your battles. But anyway, guys, girls, if you like this content, by all means, please hit that like button and subscribe. Don't make me have to beg, right? Right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the clip.
As Black women, we are constantly fighting to be seen as equals in our relationships, in work, in society, always a fight. And while we've made strides, our fight for equality is far from over, which brings me to the question of the day. Are we living out antiquated notions when it comes to men and money, especially if we want to be equal in our relationships? Ladies, I want to hear from you.
So I don't think that we are living out. I think we're growing out, and we're seeing that because Twitter, Black Twitter especially, has been talking about $200 dates for like the last 7 years.
Oh my God.
So this conversation around men, women, and money, we've been having it, and I think that the more we get into our bags, the more it comes to the surface.
Yeah, and I think the conversations around 50-50 is now a big topic because we have popularity around songs, from the City Girls, and it's like, cash at me, or can you pay my bills?
Right.
Now, it's coming from a place where women, I think that we've had to overcompensate a lot. So now we're like, I need someone to fill my cup over, but I think when it comes to the 50-50 aspect, I'm not opposed to 50-50 because I just feel like we're two individuals, two humans. We both have things that we want to do individually.
Yeah.
So when you contribute to a pot, that leaves room for individuality.
What you think, Jesse?
I'm not for the 50-50. I feel like even though I'm doing great for myself, I still want to feel like a damsel in distress when I come home. So I want you to pay all the bills, like I do. And I want you to do all the, the manly things, like fix shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come to my rescue when things are going wrong in the house. And although I am like a leader in the workplace, when I come home, I'm a cook, I'm a clean. I will be submissive to my man if my man is a man and he's doing what he's supposed to do. So back to the
That's
whole
a little
50
cringy.
I don't know.
Wait. Can I put an asterisk?
Yeah,
My
what's the
answer?
asterisk?
The asterisk there,
okay.
my answer is that I would love to
Yeah.
have the man pay all my bills, but I'm okay being in a setting where if that's just not the case, that's just not what our situation is. I'm okay with going 50-50, but I do love a gender role because
too.
I do love a man who is like, okay, I'm gonna do this and it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm unabashed about it. I like what I like.
Come on,
And-
unabashed.
Okay.
So when it comes to that, I do like you to fall into some roles because if I be like, okay, you know how to do this grill and you know how to take out this
Right.
garbage.
No, that's real.
And I'm gonna prep the food though, and let me be a woman and I'll let you be a man.
It's like
That's-
reciprocity in
Yes.
certain areas.
it's a little
Yeah.
old school, but yeah, that's what I like.
Does it change or does it make a difference if it's dating versus shacking up versus marriage?
You sound like my mama talk about shacking up.
I know, right?
Lord.
You
Well,
can tell I'm
I
on
feel
something.
like this, right? These conversations need to be had during dating. And I think what happens is, people are dating and we're missing the point of what dating really is. Dating is like, hey, what's your expectations?
Yep. What do
you-
What's your capacity? That's the main thing that we miss because if your expectations are here and someone's capacity is here, now when you get into the more serious phase, all that space in between is disappointment, right? So if we bring down or up our expectations to meet the capacity, then we don't have no surprises. So if I'm dating someone right now, right, and I'm like, hey, this is what I want.
Right.
I'm gonna always make money because that's who I am. But if you got it, I want you to take care of everything and your money is our money and my money is my money. Now, if he says yes, we lit. But if I'm not saying
Now, if you listen to this, her statement was, his money and her money is considered their money and her money is her money. Does that seem more like selfish in a way? Leave a comment, let me know. I get some people are okay with the 50-50 and some people are not. But I think this is like kind of like over the top. How do you expect a man to do a part for you when you're not doing yours? And when it comes to time for you to do your part, then it's, you got a lot of question marks going on. But in a way, it does seem selfish in a way. You know what I mean? Because here it is, some women expect a man to do for this, but then you haven't even, talked about what you want to do. And then if you listen to the comments, basically some of them are just basically, well, I do, but then that's not really true. I mean, I don't think it's really true because in this conversation, they're really demanding a lot from the man to do for them. And it's all about, and again, it's all about, in this conversation, it's all about me, 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 and what you can do for me. Some women today treat relationships like, businesses or proposition. It's like you're being propositioned. If you don't meet these qualifications, then most likely they're not going to deal with you. And some women feel that, they know their worth, and if you can't provide this, then chances are you're not the one for them. But let's keep going here.
That, and
Yeah.
I'm just playing City Girl songs extra loud, hoping that he hears it. And then when the marriage comes or the real relationship comes, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're not
Right.
money bag
else.
yelling at me. I can't be mad because I didn't say what I wanted.
Yeah, you got to set a precedent. I get that.
Preach.
I get that.
I don't know. I agree with that, and I feel like so many different viewpoints can be valid at the same
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Like, so sometimes I feel when it comes to the 50-50 conversation, it's like, no, you need to see it this way. No, you should see it this
Yes.
way. It's like, do whatever works for you, right? However, just know, I feel like when you show a man that you want to do, like, if you give a man an inch, he's gonna take a mile. So I like sometimes when you do, yeah, well, I could do my part, babe. I could do this. Sometimes then he'll look at you and be like, well, what more can you do?
Right.
Like, I feel like I've met that before. So my expectations when it comes to relationships is, you know what? You do this over here. I do this when it comes to the finances, period. Other than that, we can come in the middle with other things.
No,
You
that's
know what
very
I will
real.
say? I will not do 50-50. Okay, maybe sometimes. I don't do 50-50 on dates. If you taking me out as a man, you pay for my date.
See, there you go. See? Now, first, she basically said she don't mind doing the 50-50, but then she turned around and changed it and said, maybe not. So all in all, this conversation is basically about what this man has to do for them. And that's how they're rolling. That's it. They're not, if it seems like as if it's not enough. If it does not uh, benefit them wholeheartedly, 100%, even though they know, okay, they're supposed to do this, they're not going to do it. Because at the end of the day, you got to do for them. Let's go.
You taking me out as a man, you pay for my date.
Period.
I don't care. And
Yeah.
even if you did get a Groupon, or I don't care, don't let me see it, or whatever, do what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
But if you're taking me out, I expect you to pay.
That's
And,
a
I'm not
non-negotiable.
gonna fake grab my
Yeah.
wallet either.
Yeah, no, that's a
just expect you to
non-negotiable.
pay.
I
Looking
will
at
say,
you.
I will say, if this is like my guy, like if this is Bae, like we've been in the trenches a little bit together.
Oh, yeah.
Then I don't mind taking men out on
if
dates
it's that
if that is
situation,
mine.
yeah. If
But
it's
like
that
that's very much few and far between because it's like you have to show that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. See,
I'm
and
like a
it's-
generous man.
I like a generous man too, but just like you said, like when I do have a man, like when I have somebody special in my life, I trick on Bae.
Exactly.
Like I do. That is like the cancer side of me. Like when you doing me good, I'm gonna trick on you.
I'ma do you better.
I'm gonna do
Okay.
you better.
Child.
But at the same time, it's like it needs to be understood that when it comes to finances, certain things are your responsibility, point blank, period. Like I feel that needs to be understood from point blank, like from the jump. So
Yeah.
I want to give from my heart, and I don't mind giving, but I want you to pay for my dinner.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm all
Oh my God. Wow. Okay, well, check this out. So, in most relationships, experts agree that strict 50-50 isn't an ideal concept for a healthy relationship. It often can start with resentment or calculations, potentially. It's like as if the person will basically say, I'll do more. But the more effective approach is to just focus on working together as a team if the relationship is serious, so to speak. So with both partners involved, I'm going to say teamwork is essential, contributing wholeheartedly, 100%. It adopts commitment for the sake of the relationship. And you have to have that mindset, so to speak, regarding of the task, achieving the common goal, fostering with supporting your partnership. But anyway, let's keep going here.
All into the astrology alignment 1111, right? Gang, gang. But look, right? Money is energy, and energy is currency. So when we're talking about money, people are only talking about the dollar sign in your bank account. But sometimes you can tap in and get an alignment with someone's energy, and then the money can start flowing in. So I feel like, you know, in relationships, sometimes people got it, sometimes people don't. And especially if we're talking about marriage. Now, you know, things happen. So if my man loses his job or something happens, he puts all his Bitcoin in something and it goes down, I'm not going to continue to put the pressure on him to pay for everything or even go 50-50. But I'm just saying, if the man feels from jump that there's this expectation and then something happens, this is when people start being dishonest. They don't want to let you down because you're so used to a certain lifestyle. So I think this, right? If you got it, boo, get it and do it. If you don't got it, let's communicate and then we can do it together. But I don't think there should ever be pressure on one person only in a relationship to handle everything.
Look,
it's unfair.
That's the word, okay? Make sure your relationships are in abundance. So, so let's go ahead and get into this next segment. This episode is titled Money, Power, and Respect. All three of these very important things affect the dynamics of a relationship differently.
Okay, let's check this out. So even though 50-50 approach could lead to resentment, but it can also create a transactional dynamic by prioritizing, so to speak, understanding ultimately disrupting the neutral flow of the relationship. It could ruin it. You know, people will really lose out on what's the really important focus on while the relationship exists. But let's go. Let's keep going here.
You know, if a man makes all of the money and bears the financial responsibility in a relationship, how much power is a woman giving up? If a woman is the breadwinner, do you think the power and respect lines start to blur? Let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty.
Well, I will say, when men ain't got no money, that's when the problems occur in a relationship, because society has taught men that they need to be providers, that they need to be financially equipped, and they need to do all these things, that some of which we mentioned. And when they do not have that money, they feel less of a man. And then that's when the respect and the lines start to blur, because now as the woman, if you have somehow become the breadwinner, you find yourself trying to make him feel better as a man, because now he's feeling less than. And that's when a whole bunch of tension starts to happen. So when they don't have no money, not just speaking figuratively like, oh, you ain't got no money to take me out. But when they aren't in that place, their manhood is severely affected, and then the relationship becomes strained.
The ego starts popping out.
The ego
is the enemy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel that if a man is in a certain financial state, there are just certain women you shouldn't be aiming for. Like, that's just my belief. Like, I don't know. I just feel like
the IG girl models. Like, that ain't for
like,
you.
Come on now. Like,
But let me throw this out there. And these ladies, I applaud them for their achievements and contributions. But it kind of makes you wonder, and I don't know who these ladies are, these women are. It kind of makes you wonder if they have a man at home anyway, or if they're single. You know, that's just something to think about. You know, nothing wrong with being financially independent and things of that nature. But when it comes to a relationship, you know, some women, if they have it where they're financially independent, you know, they stress all the time. We don't need a man. You know, so these things, you know, you look at what could be like reasons why a relationship in their status does not work. Let's go.
nowadays, what we're seeing is nowadays, women are the new men. Like, when women go out, like, we eat like drug dealers, we're spending a lot of money, right? And then like you have instances where you've gone out with a man and he looking at you because you on the third appetizer and you know he's sweating because you know you got your third drink and it's like you ain't even get to the main dish yet. It's like, no sir.
This is how I eat with my girls.
This is how I eat with my girls. Like I hate, sometimes I see things go random like, oh, girls be going to Wendy's, but when you go out with them, they want you to take them to like Prime 112. But no, we actually go to Prime 112 with our girls.
We sure do.
We actually
Literally.
go to fine dining with our home girls.
Yep.
So when it comes to you, if you cannot do that, you need to aim a little lower. Like have your expectations be realistic so that when you get into relationships, it's not, and then sometimes too, like you said, when they have less money, they feel like less of a man, which I don't think money should be tied to your manhood.
Absolutely not.
However, they feel less than a man, so then you do have men who will kind of try to fake it and like catfish you with the money at first, and then you find out later he ain't got it, which is why you always gotta FaceTime a man, see how he living. If you see sneakers lined up by the window, he is not for you, sis. Like, this is not your ministry.
Because that's what he's spending his money.
If he ain't got no headboard, he's
Hold
not
on.
for you.
I got something.
Okay?
You know, like with
Yeah.
the aim a little lower, there's been times where I didn't have it, but I've always been top tier.
Wow.
So there's a lot of women, right, who feel like, and may feel like, oh, if I don't have money or whatever, I should settle, and vice versa, right? I don't think you should ever settle ever a day in your life. Communicate, number one, like, listen, I'm an artist and I ain't get a bag yet, or it's the pandemic
Yeah.
and I ain't get my PPP loan or ran out.
There's some understanding and
whatever the
flex there,
case,
right.
or I got 5 kids, and whatever the case may be.
God.
No,
That
but
baby
seriously, but
Yeah.
just because I don't have it, right? Again,
Yeah.
money, energy, currency. My bank account could be, say whatever, but you could hit a lick. One day, 1 second can change everything. And imagine someone not paying you no attention because you don't have the money now. Communicate, hey, boo, all my money is tied up in investments
Yeah.
right now. So how do you feel about a baked potato
Yeah.
and chili from
Yeah.
Wendy's?
A
And we
baked
could go
potato.
Netflix
Yeah.
and chill when you could blow my back out and it's lit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I'm
Just don't lie. Don't
Yeah.
lie about it.
I'm team, I'm gonna stick beside him.
You seem I'm gonna say, okay.
I definitely am. I'm team, I'm gonna stick beside him because I appreciate someone who is educated. I appreciate someone who will give you an experience. I appreciate a thoughtful man. So
Yes.
if we're in the living room and you done threw some rose petals and we about to get crazy, it's gonna get crazy because I feel loved and I feel appreciated. I think a lot of times we always, like you said, money and currency, but there are other ways to make someone feel full. So I'm gonna stick beside him.
The question really is, what is most important to you? Earning potential or their emotional intelligence, I guess.
The thing is, it takes a while really to understand somebody's earning potential. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, are they being honest about where they are in life? I remember recently, like,
You know, when you think about this, I'm okay with people's opinions about how they feel about how men should be. But if you listen to the conversation, it's all about what he can do for them. You know, if you're not paying, if you're not contributing, it's all about what he has to do. You notice very little have they mentioned anything about what they would have to offer, but they got these high expectations of how men should be. It's like a fixation in their mind, where you know how a man's supposed to be. They got this fixate. They're looking for this, and if you don't meet the qualifications for this person that they have fixated in their mind, then 9 out of 10 you don't qualify. And in a way, it's sort of like as if you're really down. Then they'll tell you, well, you should a certain woman you should look for. Like you shouldn't aim for the top tier woman. Like what kind of sense is that? To me, that is like so delusional to say to a man, or how do you feel a man as far as dating, how he should pick out a certain woman because certain women that have high standards are too high for him. In a way, it's kind of degrading, really. But let's keep going here.
went on a date. And the first date, this guy was working at a car dealership. That's fine with me. You making your little commission check, like I'm happy with that. You're doing for yourself, you have your own place to stay. But it's like, we went on a date, then the second date, he's an investor now. And it's like, see, now I don't know.
Not that career
come on
pivot
now.
like that.
How did we go
Okay.
from
That was
selling
a strong
cars to
pivot.
now we're Elon Musk now? No, that's not how that works. You know what I mean? Let's be honest about where we're at. Like if you're honest with me and you're transparent, we can work something, but if you're not honest, even with yourself, then that's where the problem lies, you know? And I'm just not at that point in my life where you can lie to me. You know what I mean? Like, be honest about where you are financially, or it's not gonna work.
Cause scratch a liar, find a thief.
Ooh, listen, I have 2 words for you. Ryan Coogler, okay? He didn't have a dime, and his
Director,
wife
yeah.
bought him the software to write his script, and then fast forward, Wakanda forever.
Literally.
You feel what I'm saying?
Well, he had talent.
But I was just gonna say that sometimes I think what you asked was, how can we tell, right? Like, how can we notice? And I feel like some of the green flags are someone's language. If a man is broke, right, you don't have to be broken. Once you start moping around and huffing and puffing, and you're not looking for solutions, and you're pessimistic, I can't do it. But if you're optimistic and you're getting up early, now ain't no broke and sleeping
you're
late.
honest.
Okay, you're not gonna be broke and sleep late, but if you are, having a hard time and you're like, you know what, I know my formula, let me work out, let me alkaline my body, like whatever it is that you have to do. For me, as long as you understand the law of attraction, you don't have to stay down for long. So that's what I'm looking for, somebody understanding the laws of the universe.
So at what point do we stop dating for potential?
Never
That's
date
really
for
the question.
potential, I don't think.
Man.
But like you said, with Ryan Coogler, he had the potential.
He did.
But was she dating him for that potential, or was she dating him because she loves him?
But she
didn't
saw
love
the potential.
him. Yeah, like, how did she go to love him? You know, it's like
We
she
gotta
had
ask
to.
her.
They had right, but I'm assuming there was honesty,
Yeah.
there was transparency, there was communication.
You wouldn't do a 50-50 relationship? I'm willing to stay single until I can support myself 100% and have a shorty move into my.
You gonna feel me go half on the bills with her, right?
No.
You're bugging.
If I'm already paying all the bills by myself, why would I move a shorty in and tell her she got to pay half? So
Oh my God. Wow. Jesus. Why would you not want to pay the bills? I mean, here it is. You're offering her to move in. Look, bro, she has to contribute something. Don't just say she can come in and live for free. I get you. I bet you if the shoe was on the other foot, she wouldn't let you do that. She just wouldn't. She'll tell you either you have to contribute to something or guess what? Find a place to stay. It's unfortunate. It happens. These women today, they're looking for breadwinners. They're looking for winners, so to speak. And they're not settling for less because they feel that they know their worth, they know what they want, and they want that so-called alpha male. This is what they're saying. So for you to say you let this lady in without her contributing, then how will she learn? Because check this out. You're giving her this access, this free access, okay, to live with you, and she doesn't have to contribute to the bills. Guess what? When she gets on her feet, she's going to leave. She's going to have what she's going to have. And let's just say the scripts flip. You need her help. Chances are she might not help you. And you'll be down and out. This is true. It's been proven. This is true. Some of these ladies, they treat the relationships like a business. And if you do not meet these qualifications, you will be X'd out. Let's keep going.
Save money.
Bro, I'm not about to bring no girl inside my house and she think I'm paying all the bills. That's not happening. She's gonna go to sleep knowing that she don't gotta pay no bills, and I gotta go to sleep early, now I gotta wake up early and work.
Very
the fuck
true.
up out of here.
Very true.
Yo, a lot of this online relationship advice be wrong, bro. It be cap. Look, don't listen to nobody that don't have real experience. They can have the best intentions in the world, but they advice is just speculation, right? So I'm no relationship guru. I've been with my wife for like 17 years. We've been married for 8. And so when I hear certain stuff, red flag. Like a relationship is supposed to be 50-50. Red flag. A relationship is supposed to be whatever it needs to be at that time. Sometimes it's 50-50. Sometimes it's 60-40. It just depends on what your partner needs. You supposed to be able to lean on them and they can lean on you. Red flag. You will hear a relationship not supposed to be a where y'all leaning on each other. It's supposed to be a H. Well, both of y'all are assisting and helping each other become the best version of y'allself by y'allself. And then y'all connected through the promise of partnership. I just feel like something had to be said because a lot of these boys is loud and
together.
Okay, I can agree with that. On most parts, relationship 50-50 is deeper than that. It's not about finances. It's about really just helping each other in general, just helping on each other, becoming as one, as a team, partnership, not even thinking about, the finances, because that's going to come anyway. There are relationships where couples based on 50-50, not separately, but as far as coming between one common goal and making a successful relationship work. I've seen that, but let's keep going.
Longevity does not equal success. There are plenty of people who stay together miserable. There are plenty of people who've been married for 50 years in an unhealthy household. It's not to say that there aren't plenty of people who have gone that long and it's healthy and successful. I'm just saying simply being together that long does not tell you the full picture of what's going on in that relationship. And so I think we are overlooking the inner workings of what's happening behind closed doors that has created a very unhealthy or unhappy situation, okay? And a lot of it stems from the whole ideology of a 50-50 relationship. So let's start breaking this down. Why you should avoid a man, because we're specifically talking about the man who wants it right now. Why you should run away. Why you should avoid that guy, all right? First reason is because in most cases, the 50-50 isn't even real. Here's what I mean. Let's first start with from the standpoint of financially, okay? A lot of people will say, we're gonna go 50-50. And let's say the mortgage is $2,000. And so 50-50 is, well, you put 1,000, they're 50-50. You put 1,000, I put 1,000. We're 50-50. That's not real 50-50 as far as I'm concerned. Because if the man makes $100,000 and the woman makes $50,000, they are not making the same sacrifice by paying $1,000. What would actually be a more accurate 50-50 is if both parties paid 20% of their salary, or let's just, for the sake of me doing easy math, 10% of their salary towards this bill. So in this case, his 10% would be 1,000, her 10% would be 500. And again, I'm just using random numbers, not random numbers, but I'm just basing it off the yearly salary, okay? That's only $1,500, so we need 500 more. But you get what I'm saying here. The point is, it's the percentage, because now it is an equal sacrifice. And here's the reality. In many cases, the person who has a lot more money, so basically, if I'm only making $50,000 and my partner's making $100,000, they may be at a point where they have way more disposable income than I do. So that 1,000 don't hurt like it's gonna hurt me at the 50 level that might have less disposable income. So again, it's not really 50-50. But let's move on to a different example. Let's say when it comes to taking care of the kids, okay? One, it's extremely hard to quantify an even split of time being given to the kids, when the kids need this, when the kids need to be fed, all these things. So again, not really 50-50. But then here's something else that I have seen, all right? It won't apply to everyone, but I've seen it and I know it happens in many cases. It's the fact that even if you're trying to split time with the children, you may have way more instances where the children simply want mommy. That's it. They don't want daddy right now. They want mommy, all right? Now, of course, there's some scenarios where they might want daddy more than mommy. But I think if we surveyed people, we'd probably find it tends to be more they want mommy than daddy. So the woman naturally ends up having to give more time and attention to the children, on top of her having to take care of everything else 50-50. So we're already seeing it doesn't have that proper or that actual 50-50 split. And then we can go on to just other things like how we handle things around the house and all these different things. What you will typically find when you examine 50-50 relationships is, again, it's not real. It's not real. It's a figment of our imagination.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, I get what he's saying. So 50-50 not necessarily means the finances. It just basically means that 50-50, the concept of that, they use it. It's a metaphor. It's not really saying, it just means that the two parties have to work together as a team. That's what it's really saying. They're not really taking 50-50, to that extent. And it's really, at the end of the day, it's just about teamwork between the man and the wife or that partner. So here's the thing, though. So nothing is really wrong with 50-50. You just have to just make sure that it's not just based on finances. Okay. Anything else, but not on finances. I'm your boy Jazz, signing off, saying peace. Kreative TV.